Today we are here at Matanga Medical Center, Waste Management and Treatment Zone. This facility is being installed by Fencraft Investments Private Limited, a company that is based in Stungwiza. Fencraft Investments Private Limited specializes in the manufacture of healthcare waste incinerators, installation of the same, and maintenance of the same. They also do other related infrastructure to healthcare waste treatment plants to make them compliant according to the statutory and the mandatory requirements of Zimbabwe, and also in line with the requirements of the international regulator, WHO, and other regional and international conventions to which Zimbabwe is a signatory. So we are now entering the healthcare waste zone for Matanga Medical Center. As you can all see, this plant is now almost complete. All the infrastructure that is here, that we are seeing here, is actually in compliance to the requirements of WHO. It's also in compliance with the requirements of the regulations of the land of the Republic of Zimbabwe. I want to first of all start discussing or talking about the infrastructure that we are seeing here, which is also mandatory in as far as our laws are concerned. This one is what we call the Ottaway pit. Its function is to ensure that the placentas that come from the labor ward are brought here and deposited into this Ottaway pit via this manhole that we are seeing here, where they biodegrade themselves through very complex biological and chemical processes. The placenta, the bulk of it is water. 90% of it is water. So what then biodegrades really is another, constituents of the placenta. So the water then sips and goes underground. That's what happens here. That's the process. This Ottaway pit is actually a requirement of the government of Zimbabwe that it be there. Why is it a requirement? It's one simple reason. The approach is that we need to manage the perceptions of the communities. We need to manage the perceptions of the society. Some women and some cultures believe that placentas are not supposed to be incinerated. They believe degrading on their own through a biological process mixed with the complex biological and chemical process is better. So this is the reason why in Zimbabwe the law then says we need to incorporate this one to take care of the concerns of those communities. So this is the Ottaway pit. We are actually now in compliance with the requirements of the land. Matanga Medical Center is in compliance, as you can see. The Ottaway pit is here. Now let us go to the next waste management zone, which is also a requirement of the Republic of Zimbabwe, and it's also in line with the requirements of healthcare waste management, as enunciated even in WHO protocols, even in national protocols, international protocols, and other international conventions. What we are going to be having here is an incinerator installed on top of this slab where I'm standing. This slab is what we call the incinerator concrete seating plinth. Why? Why that name? It is called the incinerator concrete seating plinth because that's where the incinerator is going to be installed. It's going to be installed right on top of this plinth that you are seeing here. It is designed in such a way that it will be able to take the load from the incinerator Mind you, this metal that we are going to be putting here, it's under manufactured right now as we talk. It's being manufactured at our workshop. It will be ready soon, being manufactured. Its weight is around 1.7 tons. So this stuff that we're seeing here is capable of taking that load, that 1.7 ton load. It's a well-designed concrete sitting plinth which is capable of that application. It's capable of that duty. This section that we are seeing here is actually in compliance to the requirements of healthcare waste management and treatment, not only for the Republic of Zimbabwe, but is also enunciated in international and regional conventions, which Zimbabwe is a signatory to. So the incinerator that's going to come here is going to be a two-chamber incinerator. The first chamber is the primary chamber, and the second chamber is the secondary chamber. In the primary chamber, that's where the combustion of our solid healthcare waste is going to take place. And in the secondary chamber, that's where the combustion of our byproducts of the combustion process in the primary chamber, which consists mainly of hot gases and water vapor, are going to be further incinerated. The operational temperatures for this incinerator ranges from 950 degrees Celsius up to 1000 degrees Celsius. Meaning to say, all known pathogens and bacteria will have been destroyed at this temperature. So this is what is going to be here. And these temperatures are actually the temperatures that are required for the incineration of healthcare waste. So Matanga Medical Center is actually complying to the requirements of effective and safe healthcare waste treatment by installing this unit that is going to be here. Let me now go to the next infrastructure, which is also an infrastructure that's required in our protocols, that's required in the international conventions, that's required even by the international regulator, WHO. The aspect. Remember, the waste that comes here, healthcare waste, it will be infectious. It's classified waste. So cardinal room number 1 up to cardinal room 1 million, it means that waste is still classified. Even the ash that's going to come here, out of here, although it will be sterile, we still need to classify it as hazardous waste. What that means is we need to manage that ash as well. We need to manage it safely and efficiently. Hence, we now have that infrastructure to take care of the ash that's going to come from the incinerator. This infrastructure, where I'm standing on, we have actually completed it now. This is the ash pit. Its function is to store the ash that's going to come from that incinerator here. That's where it's going to be stored. As you can see, it has got a manual here. The operator is going to come with his trolley full of ash. Coming here, we are going to put a ram there. Open the door. And deposit the ash into the ash pit. The ash pit was designed such that it will be able to take up the waste, the ash that's going to come out from our incinerator for a period of up to 5 years. And when it's full, it has to be emptied. And how is it going to be done? We're simply going to take off this top cover, which is metal, just slide it. Then we expose the ash pit. The ash pit itself is 2 meters long, by 2 meters wide, by 2 meters deep. The floor is out of concrete, mixed with an impervious mixture. And the walls, side walls, are also out of brick and mortar and an impervious agent and impervious floor. You see? Why is it like that? The reason why it's like that is for us not to allow underground waters to come into contact with our leachate here. Nor do we also want, in the event of accidental water seeping into here from maybe rainwater, we wouldn't want it again to seep. We wouldn't want the leachate to seep and pollute our underground water body. So the aspect is designed in such a way that it doesn't allow water to come in, nor does it allow water to come out. This infrastructure is in compliance to the requirements of the Republic of Zimbabwe on healthcare waste management and treatment. And it's also in line with the requirements of the international regulator, WHO, and it's also in line with the requirements of other national and international conventions on healthcare waste management. So Matanga Medical Center, as we can see, is actually complying and ready to go because the compliant infrastructure is already in place. Nothing can stop them from complying. Nothing can stop them from safely managing and treating the healthcare waste that is going to be generated from this medical facility because the infrastructure which is compliant is in place. So we are quite happy and excited about what Matanga Medical Center has done. They have brought in a waste management zone that is going to be safely treating and managing the waste that's going to be coming from the medical facility. But that's not enough.